Hello everyone, this is Highlander from MTG Cardsmith doing another custom Magic the Gathering card review, and I got my special guest today with me, Islandsnake,
Hey,
and we are reviewing a card by BT9154. This card is called Hakos Chaos Vermin.
Rat Squad. Another VTuber.
Okay, good to know.
She's a
Um,
rat.
yep, again,
Human rat.
should be a human rat. It's just a rat. This is
Tricolor.
a tricolor, blue, black, red, for a 2/2. The legend rule does not apply to Hakos. Do you know what the legend rule is?
Now, I believe the legend rule is you can't have the same card, right? Again, like the same, another copy of a legendary creature in your deck. Is that?
You can so you can have multiple of the same legendary creature in your deck, but not in play. So basically,
Okay.
what happens is if you have like two of the same legendary creature and you play one, and then you play the other, you have to you basically choose which one of those you keep, and then the other one dies, goes to the graveyard.
Oh, okay.
So
And is that like across both players?
no, it used to be, but they changed it at some point to make it only one
I,
player.
I wonder if that's what they're saying about this card. Let's read the rest of
No,
it.
I bet you anything she's going to make tokens of herself. That's probably the case because Commander is a singleton format, and these cards we've been looking at are clearly aimed at Commander, um,
Yeah.
and so you can't play two of these anyway. So she probably makes tokens of herself, is my guess. All right, so let's see what we got here. Okay, more cumulative upkeep. Roll a d6. If you get a 1, target opponent creates a token that's a copy of Hakos, so an
Target opponent.
opponent
Yeah.
gets her. 2. Each player discards a card at random, including yourself. 3. Each player creates a treasure token. 4. Goad target creature. You may put a +1/+1 counter on it. Do you know what goad means?
I'm assuming it means that you can tell it to go fight something else.
Close. Goad means that the creature must attack if it's able to on its combat step, and it must attack a player other than you if it's able to.
Okay. Yeah.
Um, and you can put a +1/+1 counter on it. If you get a 5, draw 2 cards and then discard a card. Okay, so you go up a card. That's pretty strong. And 6, create a token that's a copy of Hakos.
All right, so this card's just chaos. Like
Yeah, this card is complete chaos. And this card just hurts my brain because okay, so this is like absolutely nuts. Because basically what this is more nuts than the nut card. Okay, uh,
it is, yeah.
this is more nuts
Well,
than
it can't.
nonstop
It can
nuts.
become more nuts. It's not guaranteed to become nuts like the nuts card.
Okay, so well, no, it's gonna become nuts because look, this is what happens, right? So you play this on turn 3, nothing
Okay.
happens, right? Now on your next turn, you roll a d6 and you get one of these, whatever. Uh, the next turn you roll two d6s
Oh, that's
and you
right.
get
I
one of
keep.
these. Turn after you roll 3, you get 3 of these effects. Turn after you roll 4, you get 4 of these effects. Now, if you ever hit a 1 or a 6, now you're increasing the number of times that this happens, right? Because 1 is for the opponent and 1 is for you, basically. So like,
This card takes over the game,
yeah,
but does not give you an advantage in any way.
ac-
Because it
well,
could. Because it could like give your like basically like if you have an equal chance of it like helping your opponents.
yeah. I mean, like there
What
are
is the token? Does the token copy also have accumulate?
yes, cumulative upkeep. Yes, it does.
Oh, see, like I don't even know like if this is just like almost like a chaos event for the game. It's like okay, we're just gonna have 30 of these cards in like a
Yeah,
couple
I mean,
turns.
basically this card. Yeah, you were right when you said it just takes over the game, right? Like you play this card and it survives. Um, essentially, the game's going to become all about this card, right?
Yeah,
And like everyone's going to be rolling dice. There's just going to be like crazy nonsense happening. Eventually, this card gets so out of hand that like you don't even care what you pick anymore. You're like, I have so many of these triggers to resolve. Like I don't even care. Like okay, fine. Uh, you know, and not there's also like discarding a card at random, so you even have to roll a dice for that, which is like, oh man, this card just hurts me. This card just hurts me.
uh,
It
it,
is
it
just
it literally becomes the game.
yeah.
Like
This is just too much. This is just too much for me. Like yes, I get it's supposed to be chaos, but like this is sometimes chaos is not fun, and this card it's fun for like a little while, and then eventually it just becomes like okay, everyone like I feel like if this
I
card
think
sort
there
of
are ways to do this card that that make it not take over the game, but are still chaos. I think.
it basically like if this card goes unkilled eventually, I think everyone will just stop playing.
That's so true.
I think
That's so.
that's what'll happen with this card because there's
Yeah.
just gonna be so much happening that you're just like I don't even care anymore. I don't want to play
Is
with
there a
Hakos.
mechanic that like happens every upkeep automatically that's not cumulative, or you just have to write that on the card?
You would just write that on the card. You would just say like at the beginning of your upkeep, roll a d6, basically.
So I know this is not what this card does, but I think that like if we kept most of the things the same, but we just made this card basically unkillable, but like gets passed around a lot to different players, I think it could be interesting.
I see.
Like imagine instead of like getting a copy, the card like transfers ownership.
Yeah, so like target player gains control of her, basically.
Yeah. So basically, you maybe you cast her, and then when you cast her, you can choose a player that becomes the owner of the card, and then like it like passes itself around and causes chaos, and that
Yeah,
way you don't.
that would
That would
actually
be cool.
be
Yeah.
cool. And what would make that even cooler is if like most of her effects were negative,
Yeah.
where
Exactly.
it's
You don't
like
want this card. You don't want
yeah,
to own
yeah,
this
yeah,
card.
yeah. So it's like it would be like okay, you discard a card, right?
Exactly.
Or like
Each other player creates a treasure token.
yeah, or like tap target land you control. It doesn't untap on your next up tap step. Or like target creature you control must attack this turn if able. Put a -1/-1 counter on it. You know, and then like
Yeah.
you have a couple good effects maybe, right? So it's like draw a card or whatever. Draw two cards and discard a card. Um,
Yeah.
you
I think
know,
that would be much better.
yeah, I think that would be cool. And then like for like a one or a six or something, you get to like change. Yeah, like you get to change her owner essentially. That sounds like a much more interesting design to me than this one, which just sounds like it
And
just
you
looks
could
like
even
complete
make it like
nonsense.
depending on like if you wanted to make it like optimized for like in person, you could be like, six goes clockwise from you and one goes the other direction. So it's like you pass the card to the next player.
Sure, you could do something like that. Yeah,
Yeah. So I'm gonna give this card I want to give it like a 3 out of 5, but because it's so broken, I want to give it a 2 out of 5. Just because it made me think it makes me have some cool ideas, but like the actual card as is basically unplayable. I think.
yeah. I give this card a 1 out of 5, and I give the card you designed like a 3 or 4 out of 5. Basically, like
Yeah.
I think your card is interesting. I think this card is just complete nonsense, and I would never want to play with this card or against this card. I would never want to be in a game with this card in it. Let's just put it that way.
Fair enough. Yeah.
I would kill it on sight.
Exactly.
All right, so that's our review of Hakos KS Vermin. Thank you for watching.